I have never met a man so ignorant that I couldn't learn something from him. I do not feel obliged to believe that the same God who has endowed us with sense, reason, and intellect has intended us to forego their use. You cannot teach a man anything, you can only help him find it within himself. In questions of science, the authority of 1,000 is not worth the humble reasoning of a single individual. All truths are easy to understand once they are discovered. The point is to discover them. Passion is the genesis of genius. The sun, with all those planets revolving around it and dependent on it, can still ripen a bunch of grapes as if it had nothing else in the universe to do. It is a beautiful and delightful sight to behold the body of the moon. Wine is sunlight, held together by water. There are those who reason well, but they are greatly outnumbered by those who reason badly. Measure what can be measured, and make measurable what cannot be measured. Mathematics is the language in which God has written the universe. It is surely harmful to souls to make it a heresy to believe what is proved. By denying scientific principles, one may maintain any paradox. Who would set a limit to the mind? Who would dare assert that we know all there is to be known? Who indeed will set bounds to human ingenuity? Who will assert that everything in the universe capable of being perceived is already discovered and known? Names and attributes must be accommodated to the essence of things, and not the essence to the names, since things come first and names afterwards. We cannot teach people anything, we can only help them discover it within themselves. Measure what is measurable, and make measurable what is not so. The greatness and the glory of God shine forth marvelously in all His works, and is to be read above all in the open book of the heavens. All truths are easy to understand once you find them, the point is to discover them. I've loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night. See now the power of truth, the same experiment which at first glance seemed to show one thing, when more carefully examined, assures us of the contrary. Any truth is easy to understand once it is discovered, the problem is to discover it. With regard to matters requiring thought, the less people know and understand about them, the more positively they attempt to argue concerning them. The Bible shows the way to go to heaven, not the way the heavens go. The fear of infinity is a form of myopia that destroys the possibility of seeing the actual infinite, even though it in its highest form has created and sustains us. Thunderbolt and lightning, very frightening me. I entertain no doubts as to the truth of the transfinites, which I have recognized with God's help. Where the senses fail us, reason must step in. In the sciences, the authority of thousands of opinions is not worth as much as one tiny spark of reason in an individual man. And, believe me, if I were again beginning my studies, I should follow the advice of Plato and start with mathematics. The greatest wisdom that exists is to know yourself. All truths are easy to understand once they are discovered, the point is to discover them. Enthusiastic people experience life from the inside out. You cannot teach a person anything. You can only help him to find it within himself. The increase of known truths stimulates the investigation, establishment, and growth of the arts. Curiosity is always at the beginning of a problem that needs to be solved. About 5 years ago, I was engaged in preparing a catalogue of the ancient books which belonged to Christ's hospital. I've grown too fond of the stars to be fearful of the night. I think that in the discussion of natural problems we ought to begin not with the scriptures, but with experiments and demonstrations.